Hello. Hi. I was just making a short video to explain Brexit to people because, as I understand, a lot of my foreign friends are very confused by what Brexit is and what it's all about. It seems a very confusing process for everybody concerned. So here we have Brexit explained for foreigners. So, what is Brexit? Brexit is Britain deciding to leave the EU. So we have different kinds of Brexit, and the best way to imagine it is if the EU was a house and the British people were in the toilet, and they've all decided to have a Brexit. That means they're going to leave the EU. So here we go. So there we have the EU's a nice house. We have the WC. Then we have one kind of people want to have a hard Brexit, like Jacob Rees-Mogg, the right wing of the Tory party. That's a kind of no-deal Brexit. A hard Brexit means they want to leave the lavatory. They're not going to flush. They don't want to use any toilet paper. They don't want to clean up. They're just going to leave. That's a hard Brexit. They're just going to leave the house stinking, and everyone's going to be like, ooh, there you go. It's not going to be very nice. That's the hard Brexit. Then we have a soft Brexit. A lot of people in Britain like soft toilet paper, like Andrex, like wiping your bum with soft puppies. A soft Brexit. Some people want to have a soft Brexit, which isn't actually a Brexit. It's just a soft Brexit, which means they will be more comfortable, but then the hard Brexit people would be upset because that's not really a Brexit, according to them. And then we have the left-wing Brexit, which would be the Jeremy Corbyn-style Brexit, which would be more of a Marxist, hemp toilet paper style, more eco-friendly Brexit, with the customs union and things like that. But I don't, not many people are in favour of that either, apart from similar amount of people on the far left as opposed to a similar amount of people on the far right, hard Brexit and the left-wing Brexit. Alright, then we have Theresa May's Brexit deal, which nobody liked, a bit like the toilet paper you have in public lavatories, that kind of stuff they use in school toilets, sort of greasy, horrible toilet paper that nobody likes. So it's Theresa May's Brexit, which is apparently the only thing they had on offer, and they all got upset, and they didn't like it at all. So that describes around 50% of Brexit, which is the Brexiters. And then we go into people who are the Remainers. The Remainers is the other half of the UK population. They actually want to remain in the EU. So I think the best analogy for them is they're like a cat, because nobody really knows. If a cat does do a poo, you probably won't find out where he did it, or he probably went next door to do it, or somewhere else, but he's not going to poo in the house. He'll probably rap on the door, leave for a bit, come back in, or he might not even leave. He'd just be like, foolish human, you open the door and then go back inside. So it's a bit like cats. They don't like to leave. They just want to stay where they are, and they don't want to go anywhere. And they're very aloof and superior to everybody else. So that's the Remain people. So we have Remainers, and they're a bit like cats. I think basically that's the best analogy that we have. So we have Remainers and Brexiters. In the end of the day, people, if that should probably make a lot more sense of the whole thing, really. I'm not really sure if that helps, but I think it probably does. In the end of the day, probably Britain, we have the mother of all parliaments, and we probably would be better off ruled by cats, going by what's currently going on. But anyway, there you go. That was a short video to explain Brexit. I hope that was helpful.